Hi, I'm Charlene Robles, Part C Coordinator for Hawaii, and I'm going to talk about building a system to support the preparation of workforce. And as we know, to build a competent and effective workforce, we need a system that will continue beyond those who build it. Thankfully, through the Office of Special Education Programs, we have the Early Childhood Personnel Center that provides technical assistance to support states. And for Hawaii, we participated in the ECPC Leadership Institute Cohort 3, which provided us the opportunity to build on things that we already had within our system. Within our Hawaii system, we do have a unit that oversees our personnel development, and within our state systemic improvement plan, we have a personnel development work group that has developed training modules, processes, tools that support the workforce in the implementation of evidence-based practices that addresses social-emotional development. As we see here, the CSPD consists of 6 components: leadership, coordination, and sustainability, recruitment and retention, personnel standards, pre-service training, in-service training, and evaluation. For Hawaii, as we participated in the Leadership Institute from January 2016 to 2018, our leadership team initially consisted of Part C and the Early Childhood Partner. We engaged with ECPC throughout this time, either on a quarterly basis or through monthly phone calls. And the focus of our work was to implement an action plan for these activities. So what we decided what we needed to do was really understand what each work group, what each national TA did for us in terms of supporting us. And then what we did was we actually coordinated, with the help of ECPC, we coordinated a conference call with our TA providers. So it had all the different providers from our ECPC provider, our NCSI provider, our ECTA, our DAISY, and just kind of talked about it. What will everyone do around personnel development? And which pieces would we, who do we go to for each of these? And so it was clearer after we had that conversation that, okay, for our CSPD system, we would definitely be engaging with ECPC, but when we're talking about the evidence-based practice that we were using under our OSEP, we would work with our NCSI and our ECTA, who was helping us around our OSEP. So that was the primary first goal, I think. In addition to that, we needed to engage or inform our partners that we wanted as part of our leadership. As you know, in the beginning, we only had our Part C system and our early childhood partners. So we knew we needed the other partners, community partners, our Part B 619, and others around early childhood to participate. And so the other goal was for us to come back and just inform them, and then through that process also invite them to participate on the leadership team. And so that's where we kind of started, and then started to move through the process. We might have just started off with 5, where we had our Part B, 619, our Head Start, early childhood, and Part C, and then we invited home visiting, and then we had our executive office on early learning, and then of course the higher ed, the Institute for Higher Ed joined us, as well as our USED. In March we had our strategic planning meeting, but prior to that the leadership team came together and kind of drafted what we thought would be at least a starting point for us in talking with the larger strategic planning group on what our vision and mission would be. And when we met at our strategic planning meeting in March, we shared that, and through the process with the assistance of ECPC, we were able to solidify our vision Hawaii's vision for CSPD. So basically what we said is Hawaii will have a highly qualified, sustainable professional workforce that is culturally and linguistically responsive to Hawaii's birth to 5 keiki and their ohana. Keiki meaning the infants and toddlers, and ohana referring to family. For the Hawaii mission, we developed this mission that says Hawaii will create an integrated, comprehensive system of personnel development that will result in a collaborative, knowledgeable, and highly qualified workforce. This workforce will provide culturally and linguistically responsive early learning services to keiki birth to 5 with special needs and their ohana that are linked to national standards and integrated within personnel systems in our state. And what we also did as part of our strategic planning meeting was develop initial goals for each of the 6 subgroups that make up the CSPD system. So for leadership, coordination, and sustainability, the initial goal was to create a CSPD leadership infrastructure. For state personnel standards, the goal is to coordinate alignment of standards across discipline and systems. Pre-service personnel development, support and strengthen programs currently in place with birth to 5 special education. In-service personnel development, crosswalk current training and technical assistance initiatives that align across systems. Retention and recruitment, define the effectiveness of current retention and recruitment strategies being used in Hawaii. And lastly, under evaluation, develop a system to continuously monitor progress and revise activities and outcomes. What I want to also share as part of our strategic planning meeting, which was very thoughtful of our evaluation team, after they had developed this initial goal, they knew that they needed to be engaged with each of the other 5 areas. So they basically split up their group and had their members sit with the different subcomponent work groups to address and think about evaluation as we talked about the initial goals. So as part of our participation in the intensive TA for our CSPD and in the completion of our strategic planning meeting, we look forward to integrating all our early childhood partners into our CSPD here in Hawaii.